Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AbilityOne program overview. My name is Jason Endicott. I'm a senior channel sales representative with National Industries for the Blind, and I'm so happy that you've taken the time to join me here for this training session. I'd also like to extend a genuine thank you to the General Services Administration for inviting me back to host this important training. Again, I'm glad you've taken the time to join us. We'll go through some very important topics in an overview of the AbilityOne program and its mission to generate meaningful employment for people who are blind or have other severe disabilities. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. Here's a bit of a brief agenda for your notes today. We'll be covering the mission of the AbilityOne program, how it's organized, the roles and responsibilities, the benefits of the program to both people who are blind and have severe disabilities and to the federal customer, the products and services available through the AbilityOne program, a brief ordering guide, and then some time to take your questions and answers. First off, let me start with the program mission. Our mission statement reads, to provide employment opportunities for people who are blind or have significant disabilities in the manufacture and delivery of products and services to the federal government. This chart was put together to show you all the moving parts within the AbilityOne program. There are a number of different players that make this program operate efficiently and effectively to meet our mission. Personally, I like to start off in the center of the chart here with the U.S. AbilityOne Commission. This is a small federal agency located here in Northern Virginia, and they really provide a lot of oversight and direction to the AbilityOne program. They have a staff of nearly 30 employees, and they really create the guidelines and provide the oversight that this program requires. So with that, we'll start with the executive committee. This is a staff of 15 representatives. These representatives are appointed by the President of the United States, which is listed at the top of the slide there. These representatives, 11 of them come from federal agencies. They are high-ranking, typically procurement officials within federal agencies. Each branch of the military has a representative, as well as GSA, Department of Labor, Department of Commerce, and others. These representatives are part of an executive steering committee, and they vote and make regulations and determine the future of the AbilityOne program. Again, they are appointed by the President of the United States, and it is their job to also bring buy-in back to their federal agencies and help drive down those policies and procurement regulations that make the program very effective. 4 of those members, however, are members from private sector. They are typically folks who have established themselves throughout their careers as advocates for Americans with disabilities. So they're sort of there to balance out the representation within that executive committee. So next up to the right, we have the commissioner of the AbilityOne program. And that currently is Jeff Kosis, the senior procurement executive from GSA. So we're very fortunate to have him in that role and have his experience and guidance at the helm within that position. We have Congress, which is where we gain our authority as a mandatory source. Originally, a law was passed, the Wagner-O'Day Act in 1938, signed into law by President Roosevelt, who, as many of you know, suffered from disabilities of his own linked to the disease polio. We also have a fairly new feature here, and that's an agency inspector general over the AbilityOne Commission, the U.S. AbilityOne Commission, that is. And that also brings a lot of credibility and oversight to this program, which is always a positive in the federal procurement world. So below the AbilityOne Commission, we have the 2 central nonprofits, National Industries for the Blind, the organization that I represent, and our sister organization, Source America. Together, we have nearly 500 locations across the country where what we refer to as associated nonprofit agencies, one for the blind and one for people with significant disabilities. This is where the actual work gets done. Where the hiring of people with disabilities takes place, and they get hired to do the manufacturing and service contracts that are created between our federal customers, the central nonprofits, and our associated nonprofits. Below that, we have you, our federal customers. And frankly, if I could restructure this slide, I would put you folks right up at the top above the President of the United States, because day in and day out, you folks make decisions, particularly with the purchase card level, that really impact the success of this program. And that's why I really think it's an amazing opportunity for us to be able to present to you in this forum. We're going to try and give you some tools and some guidance to help you make the most of your purchasing power and make sure you're directing that purchasing power back into the AbilityOne program, where it does really good for not just people who are employed under the AbilityOne program, but by their families, their communities, and so forth. With that, we'll go to the next slide. All right, so now I'm going to cover the responsibilities of each of those groups that I've referenced on that previous slide. We're starting with the U.S. AbilityOne Commission. They establish the strategic direction of the program, creating new jobs that will last into the future, deciding what types of product lines we should potentially be pursuing as additions to the procurement list. They create and maintain the procurement list. They set and revise the fair market prices. Just a moment on that. Our prices are not set to be the lowest in the marketplace. They are established to be what's called the fair market price. If you are ever in a position where you want to have that price reviewed for products that you need to meet your mission, there is a process where you can contact the AbilityOne Commission and have that make that a consideration. They designate the two central nonprofits. We work very closely with the AbilityOne Commission at NIB and Source America to make sure that everybody's interests are fully represented and protected. They make rules and regulations necessary to administer the Javits-Wagner-O'Day Act, and they assist federal customers to increase the purchases under the program. They are there to support you as a federal agency, and they can help you navigate the procurement world and make the most of your decisions when it comes to your procurement dollars. Next up, we have the CNAs, which, as I mentioned before, is Central Nonprofit Agencies, NIB and Source America. I'll briefly go over our duties. Frankly, our duties are to make our nonprofit associated agencies as successful as possible in delivering as many products and services effectively and high quality to the federal marketplace. But here we'll go through these points. Overseeing and assuring nonprofit NPAs are contract compliant. Solving problems, we each offer a single point of contact for complaints or delivery issues. We help educate customers in situations like this. Is an excellent example of that. We represent our nonprofit agencies back to the U.S. AbilityOne Commission to make sure that their interests are addressed as well, and that they are meeting all of their requirements. We do evaluation and reporting of NPA qualifications and capabilities back to the Commission. And we recommend suitable additions to the procurement list, including the starting point for that initial fair market price. Next up is our nonprofit agencies, or NPAs, as we refer to them. They are responsible for manufacturing, delivering products or performing services assigned by the CNA. Meeting qualifications for their participation, one of their primary responsibilities is to provide 75% or more of the direct labor hours performed by people who are blind or have severe disabilities. The net income benefit, individual shareholders and other individuals, maintaining qualifications to continue to participate in the AbilityOne program, and to meet the other requirements of federal contract. Why is all of this so important? Why has this program continued its mission for over 80 years? Well, in America, we face a situation where we have over 18 million working age adults who are blind or have other significant disabilities, Nearly 70% of this population is not employed or significantly underemployed. So we really are tapping into a resource here in the United States. One note on blindness and a lot of disabilities in the United States, it's becoming more rare for instance, to be born blind in the United States. We're very fortunate in that regard. But blindness, as an example, can still take place over the course of one's life as an adult. You could become blind due to an accident, a car accident, or through an illness, a disease like diabetes can take people's sight over time. So a lot of what we do on the front lines in the disabilities community is our nonprofit agencies will provide services to people in their communities at the state and local level, people who have recently become blind and need to learn new tools to adjust to modern life. We do a whole host of rehabilitation services for communities across the country. NIB, for instance, has over 100 locations across the country. We're represented in 38 different states. And we generate employment for about 6,500 people who are blind, including veterans. And a lot of times people will come into this program, get the rehabilitation services they're seeking, maybe learn to walk with a white cane, you navigate public transportation. There's a lot of new accessible technologies in the IT world. Learning to use the computer all over again can be a challenge for some folks, but we work with them to get them up to speed with all of the technologies and training that we can offer them. And then they have an opportunity to go back into the quote unquote normal employment world, or maybe find an opportunity within the AbilityOne program if it suits their needs and interests. So that is one of our goals. It's not simply to be a job creator, but to offer these services back to the American people. Next up, we have here the AbilityOne service. It serves people who otherwise would have a difficult time obtaining or maintaining employment. As I mentioned, there's vast underemployment in the job marketplace for Americans with disabilities. And the AbilityOne program serves as the largest source of employment in the U.S. for people who are blind or have other significant disabilities. In my experience, NIB has had the opportunity to work with organizations from around the world. And I think we are very fortunate in the United States that the U.S. government has committed these resources to create such a powerful program. It is certainly unique from what I have learned about other countries who do not offer programs like this. But NIB has tried to work with organizations from around the world to try to encourage them to do so, even if it is starting off on a much smaller platform. Customer focus. This really is the heart of our interest, is to keep our federal customers happy and satisfied with the products and services that they are obtaining from this mandatory source. We don't want to simply be mandatory. We want to be one of your preferred sources, and someone that you will continuously return to time and time again, knowing that you can get the products and services that are of high quality and meet the missions of your organization, while giving you the opportunity to support this important program and its mission. The benefits to the federal government. We are here to provide high quality products and services with on-time delivery. We offer fair market prices, as I mentioned, established in partnership with the U.S. AbilityOne Commission, a partner in government to you. We are here to develop a nationwide network of services. Sometimes that may be with NIB. Sometimes that might be with Source America. Occasionally, it might be with both organizations working hand in hand to meet your needs. We are here for long-term relationships. We want to impress you with our abilities and keep you coming back for more opportunities. And there's also a moral satisfaction in helping people to help themselves. A lot of the folks who support this program like it because we turn folks who would be normally receiving benefits, Social Security, disability insurance, and other types of local welfare benefits, and turning them back into taxpayers. We like to think of folks being able to be a role model for their families and be proud of the work that they do and be able to share that with their communities and neighbors and really have a lot of moral satisfaction themselves in being gainfully employed and providing the dignity that comes with gainful employment. Next up, the benefit to our employees. We offer a wide range of employment. Folks many times come into the program and will learn about opportunities within our manufacturing, or maybe they'll take different course and go into service opportunities, which can often be more high tech and rewarding for folks who are interested in pursuing those types of careers. We have marketable job skills that can allow them to move back into the more traditional workforce, or remain within the program and grow and even move into management and leadership roles. We offer equitable wages, benefits, and chances to advance. And there's also that measure of independence that I mentioned in the last slide, the dignity of employment, the ability to talk about your work and share that with your family and communities. It's very special. Up next, we're going to talk about the AbilityOne program and the products and services available through it. As you know, or as you may be aware, NIB and Source America are constantly adding new products and services to the AbilityOne procurement list. So keep an eye out for new products all the time. We launch them quarterly, and we try to really address the needs of our customers. If you have feedback and would like to contact NIB or Source America to recommend products or services that would be helpful for you and your organization to meet its mission, we invite you to do so. And there will be contact information later in this presentation. With that said, let's go ahead and look at some of the broader product categories within the AbilityOne program. What kind of products can I buy? Well, the list is long, and one of my hopes is that you will, if you've been with the government some time, you may know that AbilityOne does pencils and pens and file folders and notepads and notebooks. That is our traditional line. We have been in office products for many decades, but we've also been aware that there is some diminishment in that category. So we've tried to extend into other categories so that we can grow and enhance the types of manufacturing and delivery that we do on products, so that we can meet your needs and grow employment opportunities for Americans who are blind or have severe disabilities. Some of the lists on the list here are cleaning supplies, cleaning products, clothing, computer accessories, furniture, medical supplies, paints and accessories, personal care and safety, safety and maintenance items, and of course, writing instruments in your office products. We're still going to be heavily involved with those items, and I certainly didn't mean to diminish their importance in any way. Just really wanted to show folks that we are always trying to expand and find new areas of opportunity. So we'll go through these pretty good. One thing I'd like to point out here, folks, is the new recently redesigned Skillcraft logo down in the bottom left-hand corner. It's been restylized a little bit, and we are really excited to make sure that folks are familiar with it and keep an eye out for it in the marketplace. But as we mentioned here, we have office and cleaning supplies. Go green with AbilityOne. Hopefully your federal agency is committed to its own green practices, let alone those passed down by Congress or executive orders from the administration. Here's a couple examples of opportunities that you might buy green with the AbilityOne program. We offer biodegradable paper cups and plates and trays, processed chlorine-free office paper, products made with recycled content. We in the AbilityOne program will always meet the minimum, but we also try to exceed the minimum in many instances when it comes to recycled material. Our disposable cutlery is very popular, particularly amongst the armed forces. This is biodegradable plasticware. And then, of course, our cleaning agents, cleaning supplies, we are always trying to meet or exceed federal guidelines on those, giving you cleaning products that can not only make the office clean, but more breathable and more in a better environment to work in. So do keep an eye out for the icons that your agency are pursuing, icons linked to these green factors. And I'm certain that you will find them within the AbilityOne catalog. Custom products. This is an excellent opportunity to recognize folks who may have achieved, their goals within your organization or upcoming retirements, things of that nature. We can do plaques and pen sets, customized clocks like the ones shown in the picture there are produced at our Chicago Lighthouse for the Blind, which I believe is the last remaining source for domestically manufactured wall clocks in America. They keep a file of hundreds of different federal agency logos and emblems. If you reach out and work with them, they can update and do a customized clock for your organization. But there are also military picture frames and stamps and stamping-related materials that can be customized as well. Safety and personal care, your first aid kits, fire hoses. These are really items I don't think a lot of people necessarily assume that they can get through the AbilityOne program. You see the traffic safety clothing items there in the image. I was fortunate recently to have been able to travel to Dallas, Texas, where I toured our nonprofit there, which is called Envision Dallas, and was able to actually see blind and sewers manufacturing sewing security vests, which are then in turn sold to federal and military customers. Really interesting work to observe, and really hands-on and tactile. Just truly amazing work to see firsthand. Some government unique items within the program too. Not everything on the procurement list is branded Skillcraft. There are opportunities to buy a lot of different products that are on the procurement list, oftentimes put on the procurement list, sponsored by different federal agencies. A few of the examples listed here are military police belts, the blue nitrile gloves shown in the image by a TSA officer at one of your local airports or at the VA. We do military clothing for many of the branches of military and others that include slacks and shirts and active combat uniforms, things of that nature. We also do government unique items within the food and military rations, MREs, things of that nature. So always remember to consider the procurement list before making major procurements, because there can be items out there that you're simply unaware of, and we don't want to have that oversight lead to a lack of opportunity within the AbilityOne program. But I'm going to give you some more tools moving forward to assist with that. Just a quick shot here. I won't spend too much time on it, but really wanted to kind of give you a sense of the components and the special interest that we put into creating textiles and apparel for our warfighters, for our military soldiers. Um, here's some 15 different elements on one soldier alone, one soldier's uniform alone. Just goes to show that we are really working to support our warfighters and help them be successful in their mission. And it's also a bit of an opportunity to demonstrate that we can do customized items for your organization as well. So please do keep the AbilityOne program in mind when you're trying to make a plan for soliciting these types of materials and others moving forward. Reach out to a CNA, discuss it with us, and we can review the abilities within our nonprofit agencies and really work to tailor a need that suits your needs. So this slide is on the micro purchase limit or the MPT. And the question here is AbilityOne still a required source if I only buy small amounts with my purchase card? The answer is a resounding yes. AbilityOne applies regardless of the dollar amount. There's nothing too low or nothing too high, a dollar amount too high that affects the procurement requirements around AbilityOne. So I hope you'll find that helpful. And really, if you think about it, a lot of what we sell is going to be below that micro purchase level. So really, again, I cannot reinforce the importance that you and your cardholders have in the success of this mission, of the mission of the AbilityOne program, that is. So do use the tools that we offer you. Please do reach out to us whenever possible before making procurements, and so that we can maximize the effectiveness of the AbilityOne program. How to purchase AbilityOne products. I'm going to give you a lot of different suggestions here and a tool to close things out for making certain you're making the appropriate purchases to keep the AbilityOne program strong and moving forward. First off, we have GSA Global Supply. This is a program that accepts the purchase card, but also you can perform acquisitions and procurements via requisition. If your organization has questions about that, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to GSA Global Supply. There are operators who can answer questions and representatives throughout GSA who can assist you with that. They have that global supply right in the name. So if you are in remote parts of the world or supporting troops in other parts of the world, probably a good opportunity lies there for you. We have GSA Advantage, which is a portal that was developed by GSA in support of their MAS contractors. This is a great place to do purchasing, but also to do market research. Go on, look at look for the products that you're considering buying. You'll often get a lot of side-by-side comparisons from different vendors offering maybe different pricing or different delivery. And you can make decisions that best meet your organization's needs. What you'll want to do, though, certainly is, especially if you're working through the multiple award schedule holders, is to make sure that the vendors that you're working with are, in fact, authorized AbilityOne distributors. And this is another area where we get support from the U.S. AbilityOne Commission, where they authorize companies to become AbilityOne resellers and ensure that they meet the criteria around that distribution policy. So I would recommend visiting the abilityone.gov website. You can click on a tab for distributors, where you'll get an update, a list of authorized AbilityOne resellers. That list is updated very regularly as new companies join the ranks of authorized AbilityOne distributors. So it's a very important resource. In fact, I would recommend all of you visit abilityone.gov because it is full of all sorts of resources and opportunities to find ways to support this important program. Next up, I have our base supply centers. These are walk-in facilities, actually a picture of one on the right there. These are walk-in facilities located in federal buildings and on military bases around the country. They are on the procurement list as a service to bring you the products that you require that day, and are an incredible resource. If you have one of these bases, or excuse me, if you are working on one of these bases or near one of these bases, I encourage you to review them, to look into them. They can often do deliveries on base or nearby base or near the federal building or installation where they are located. So they really are a full service opportunity. And we have a special affinity for these BSCs, as we refer to them, because they do create an additional tier of employment for Americans who are blind or have other disabilities, as they often will work in the stores as clerks, cashiers, managers, back-end inventory and distribution, warehouse and distribution folks. So a wide variety of opportunity generated just in the employment of folks working in the store. And it creates a very compliant, ETS-free environment for your cardholders to get the products that they need. Next up, we have the AbilityOne.com. This is operated by National Industries for the Blind. It is a fully comprehensive AbilityOne website. It is not a mandatory website, but you are certainly free to shop there with your purchase card. If you're having trouble finding certain AbilityOne products that you're seeking in these other channels that I've met, AbilityOne.com should have 100% of the AbilityOne procurement list items loaded onto it. So it's another opportunity for you to find those products. Last but not least, I want to share a reference site with you. It is the AbilityOneCatalog.com. This is not an ordering site. This is simply a place where you can view the catalog online. As I mentioned earlier, we do release new products every quarter. This site will always have the latest and greatest AbilityOne products, where you can see images, read descriptions. You can actually place items into a cart that should be able to be transferred to other ordering sites. But it is a great reference site. And again, it's one of those situations where I'm really hoping buyers won't make an assumption about what the AbilityOne program offers. One example that I've given, and those of you who have taken my class have maybe heard it before, but if you assume that you can't purchase a sledgehammer through the AbilityOne program and move forward and make that procurement outside of the program, that's going to be a lost opportunity. Because in fact, not only do we manufacture and sell sledgehammers, but we have a whole line of striking tools and other gardening tools and things of that nature, high quality stuff that will meet your needs. So again, be very careful. Try not to make assumptions. Do a little bit of homework in this program. We can grow this program together. Okay, next up. The AbilityOne procurement list is accessible once again at abilityone.gov. is the website for the U.S. AbilityOne Commission. It identifies the name and the national stock number for the products that you're looking for. It is maintained by the AbilityOne Commission and has the official list of all AbilityOne items. Okay, next up we have services. And I understand that services are not typically associated with the purchase card program. So I do realize that, but I wanted to take the time to make you aware in case there are needs within your federal agency that could be met by the AbilityOne program and workers within it. And so I'm just going to highlight a few here. We do administrative support, contracts management, which includes contract closeout, which is seen as a very valuable resource for federal agencies that want to close out those contracts and either return monies left in those vehicles back to their agency or back to the Treasury, if that's how it was appropriated. We are heavily involved with facilities management, food services, grounds keeping and maintenance. We had to secure document destruction and mailroom services, cleaning contracts, janitorial and custodial, recycling. There's really a wide variety of services available out there. And if you know that your federal agency is looking to procure some of these services, I strongly encourage you to reach out to one of the central nonprofit agencies, and we can find an organization that is perfectly suited to meet your organization's needs. To order services is really to work with with the central nonprofits. Again, we can identify nonprofit agencies to meet your needs, and actually we can also help you draft performance of work statements and things of that nature, and really help you move the process along. But do reach out. We will be happy to assist in this area. Folks, we're getting near the end here, and I simply just can't wait to be live with you folks, to be able to answer your questions and comments when we are officially together in June, even though we'll still be virtual. I do look forward to that. But I did put this little slide together because customer satisfaction, we understand, is the key to keeping you happy. So I put this little formula together. It says performance plus value equals customer satisfaction, and that in turn equals jobs within the AbilityOne program. So what I really want to do is open the dialogue. I want you to feel free to contact us with any issues, concerns, comments about the program. We're also open to positive feedback as well, but more importantly, we want to know if we're not meeting your needs, how we can do better. So I really want you to understand at the end of the day that we are a partner to the federal government, and that we want to live up to that reputation as a partner and really help everybody on all sides of this equation be very satisfied with this program and take pride in it, as you should, because again, you folks are the drivers of the success of this program, and we thank you every day. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. This is where we will start taking questions. On closing, I will say again, my name is Jason Endicott. I can be reached at jendicott, that's JENDICOTT @nib.org. I can share that again in the comments when we're live. I do look forward to hearing from you. I do appreciate the time that there we go. There's my information. Sorry, folks. I do appreciate the time you've allowed me to spend with you today. I hope you find it beneficial. We do want to hear from you. Please do reach out. And again, I do look forward to answering your questions when we're live together in June. Until then, thank you and take care. Bye-bye.